I am getting lot many questions about how to evaluate a banking stock. Okay, how to identify a good quality bank and which can give you a multi-bagger return over the time. And today I'm going to take that topic because many are asking, because see, banking is like no, it's not a common manufacturing sector or service sector no, where no terminologies are simple. Now banking has their own terminologies, and today we'll talk about no. I'm going to show you how the what are the various terminologies and how you can use that when you're doing analysis of any stock, banking stock I'm talking about. See, banking and financial is almost 35% of our total nifty, total nifty. That's why you cannot ignore this sector. Okay, so चले बात करते हैं इसमें डिटेल में guys. Before that, no, if you're still not subscribed and like our videos, no, do like it and subscribe to our channel. And guys, if you want to understand how we are actually identify stocks and all that, the links are given below. Me and my research team do give recommendation. We are SEBI registered analysts, so check the link and you can attend our masterclass also free of charge. चले बात करते हैं बैंकिंग सेक्टर के बारे में. So first of all, when you start checking about any bank, no, some of the parameters you have to keep in mind. The first parameter you always have to keep in mind, what is the lending growth. Okay, how what type of growth they are having year on year or year on year, किस तरह से वो lend करे, at what growth rate they are giving. Now you may say तपन lending तो क्या है, आज खड़े रहे बाहर लोग आ भी जाएंगे पैसे लेने के लिए आज. You are right, but guys understand, if you have a very high lending growth, but if your NPA is increasing, that is non-performing assets are increasing, then again it will hit a profitability. So a bank can increase their lending only up to what they are able to control the NPAs and the control the bad debts. If the bad debts are increasing, then they will not able to lend fast. So over the years, whichever the big banks, like you can talk about SDFC, ICICI, or Kotak, over the years, they always had a good lending growth. Okay, and that can happen only when you are able to have a good mechanism of controlling NPAs and all that. So first point, always check lending growth. Second, see the CASA ratio. Now, what is CASA ratio? Current account, saving account. Kitna CASA? Now, CASA is like a raw material for any bank. Okay, like suppose they give a deposit. Okay, so sorry, someone comes and put their money in the current account, saying how much the interest they give, 4 or 5%, correct? But that same fund, they use it to give it to loan to some other person at 9%, 10%. So the difference between the two is nothing but the net interest margin. That also I'll talk about. But CASA is very important because CASA is always acting like a raw material for a bank, which is a no low interest paying instrument. So if the more the CASA ratio, the more beneficial for the bank. And that's, if you see HDFC and over the time why it has grown, because, or Kotak Bank, because they had a great CASA ratio. And that is why no, this is like a raw material. But now the problem is, as the money is flowing towards stock market, this CASA ratio is going down. That's a worrying factor. Even RBI also told about that. But yes, this CASA ratio you always have to keep in mind. So CASA is current account, saving account, divide by total loan advances, and that you will able to understand. Okay, so CASA ratio एक देखना पड़ेगा आपको. What is the CASA? Higher it is better. The third point which you guys have to understand is about the NPA. Now, what is NPA? NPA is nothing but the non-performing assets. Whatever loan you are given, and out of that, see, there are two category in that. One is gross NPA and one is net NPA. So gross NPA is that if you're given a loan and for the 90 days, if someone is not able to pay you the interest, that is classified as a gross NPA. Again, what is net NPA? So every quarterly, whenever you are coming out with the result and you getting the bad debts, out of that, if you remove the provision you already created through gross NPA, is nothing but a net NPA. So the net of the provision is nothing but a net NPA. And most of us analysts or as an investor, you have to see net NPA rather than gross NPA, because net NPA will give you a better figure. Net NPA, if it is on a higher side, that's a big alarming situation. Market do not like higher NPAs, and if the NPAs are going down, that is better thing. From last few years, NPA are in control, and some of the all these big banks is having a 0.4 0.5 NPA, which is the optimum thing. उससे नीचे तो आप जा ही नहीं सकते हो. Okay, so the net NPA is one of the figure now which every time any investor has to see that during the quarter result whether the NPA are going down or going up. Provision, again provision is going up or going down, that is bad debt provision and all that is going up or down, because this is very important metric and this is directly hitting your profitability. जैसे जैसे आपका 100 रुपए का प्रॉफिट है एंड यू हैव 5 रुपीज बैड डेप्स, खत्म ना, 5 रुपए तुरंत उड़ गए. So this is what you have to understand, the net NPA. Yes, you always have to keep in gross NPA, net NPA. These are the two figures you have to check. Again, another is cost of funds. Now, what is cost of funds? See, they are in a lending business, correct? Now, everything will not be captured through CASA. They have to take money from outside also, no, if they want to lend more. The combination of CASA and the higher deposit rate what they are giving and something they taking from outside, no, and that is nothing but combined together it's a cost of fund. Higher the cost of fund, less is your margin. See, क्योंकि आपका अगर cost of fund ज़्यादा है and if your lending rate is suppose 10 and your cost of fund is 5.5, then how much is spending? 4.5, correct? So higher the cost of fund, less the profitability. And normally if the RBI is taking higher interest rate, if RBI ने interest rate बढ़ा के रखा है the way it is currently, the cost of funds normally will be on higher side. Mainly as the interest rate cut will happen, the cost of fund will go down and that will be beneficial for the bank. So as I told you, cost of fund also you have to keep in mind. Another point is credit to deposit. I think this is the fifth point, क्रेडिट टू डिपॉजिट. नाउ व्हाट इज क्रेडिट टू डिपॉजिट, कि आपके पास जितना डिपॉजिट है उसका कितना परसेंटेज आपने लैंडिंग किया है, कितना क्रेडिट दिया है. नॉर्मली एनीथिंग अबाउट 75 to 80 इज इनफ, बट इफ इट इज मोर देन 90 100 देन देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम. क्योंकि अगर आपने क्रेडिट ज्यादा दे दिया एंड you have taken deposit and someone like CASA and all that, and someone is coming to withdraw their fund, then what will happen? क्योंकि लोन आपने दिया है for 10 years, 5 years, 25 years, but someone is taking away the deposit, then you have to again take it from outside and give them. And that is what happened in US also. You remember some of the banks, mid-sized bank got collapsed because the credit to deposit ratio was not maintained. And everyone thought ये continue रहेगा, कोई पैसे लेने आएगा नहीं. लेकिन as the interest had gone up in US level, suddenly people started coming taking out the deposit. And what happened? All this, I think it was Republic Bank and all that. Okay, they literally collapsed because of this only. So this you have to maintain a good credit deposit. Anything about 75 80 is good. उसके ऊपर जाता है then one has to take care. If it is going 100 above, then one has to take, and they have to stop lending. They have to stop lending unless the credit to deposit ratio comes into proper picture. So that is what you have to keep in mind. And again, now let us talk about some of the important metrics, or you can say ratios. So in the ratios of some of the most important ratio, three ratio we'll discuss here. Okay, the first ratio is nothing but the ROE. Okay, return on equity. So ROE normally सभी बैंक का 15 के ऊपर होता है. Return on equity, you know that how much return you are getting as a shareholder. Okay, so total assets minus liabilities, you are getting a basically equity shareholder. So how much earning you are getting, profit divided by equity shareholder fund is nothing but a ROE. So ROE अगर अच्छा होता है, that is good for the company bank. Okay, so higher ROE is always better. Normally अच्छी बैंक का 15 and above रहता है. Another important ratio is ROA. ROE is more important than ROE also. Okay, ROE is certain return on asset. Now, why it is important? See that you also know there is an ROCE also, return on capital employed. Return on capital employed is not been applied into banks because this is not a capital intensive industry. It's like a lending business. Okay, इसलिए capital employed का concept नहीं आता है, ROE आता है. So ROE is more important than ROCE. Again, ROE is the superior than ROE also, because as it is a lending asset business, no, you have to understand how much return you are getting against the lending and all that. Okay, so normally it is around maybe 1 or 2 के आसपास रहता है, घूमता है. Anything about 2 is very good. ROA about 2 is very good. You know, all these big banks, like ICICI Bank or Kotak Bank. Kotak Bank, I think it is the highest 2.6. ICICI is around 2.2. HDFC अभी 2 के नीचे आ गया, and initially it used to be 2.4 something. But yes, ROA anything above near 2 is excellent. It's excellent. ROA anything below 1 is not good. Okay, like RBL Bank or कुछ बैंक का below 1 है. That is not good. So ROA, yes, you have to understand. It means like suppose 100 रुपीज का आपने लैंडिंग दिया है, उसमें से आप कितना कमा रहे हो, 1 या 2%. अब लैंडिंग तो आप बहुत बड़ा कर सकते हो. यू कैन ऑलवेज डू अ लीवरेज एंड यू कैन लैंड मोर. सो अगेंस्ट दैट हाउ मच यू आर अर्निंग, and that is what is nothing but that 1 or 2% you are earning. See guys, all this concept I am saying, no, believe me guys, this is like a no big treasure. If you are really able to understand that, if you are not able to understand, you can no run this video again and again to get the concept clear, or thoda aap Google search bhi kar lo, no, it will help you out. But banking you cannot ignore, because it is the no biggest you can chunk of the nifty. So ROE is very important. Combination of ROE and a good ROE will always be helpful. Okay. So then another last but very very important point, ratio is nothing, price to book value. Price to book value, anything above, you can say no. See, normally though आपको पता होगा, public sector book value is nothing but no, you know, the complete book. Suppose a company is going into, bank is going to liquidation, तो उनके पास कितना asset है, shareholder fund कितना पड़ा है. So book value overall. So price to book value आपका जो है ना, normally 2 के आसपास रहता है सबका, लेकिन इनिशियली तो बैंक्स का ना, पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक यूज्ड टू बी यूज्ड टू बिलो 1. Below 1 is very very no reasonable and very inexpensive bank. Anything going about 2, 3, 4, no, this is very high. Okay, so anything about like Bajaj Finance is around 4, no 5, 6. So वो तो बहुत ही expensive हो गया. तो market is giving you more premium, no, because you are performing so good and consistently. Okay, so price to book value, of course, will judge know how much you are going to pay against the book value. That is also very very important ratio. Anything above 1.5 and 1%, no, it's a very good no, like it shows that stock is not so overvalued. But about 2, of course, it will be, you know, higher valuation comes into picture. Again, that depends on bank to bank how much efficiency is there. But of course you have to keep in mind, of course, all these things guys you have to apply together, and based on that, no, you have to do the future forecast, that what is needed, what is means how the company is going to grow and all that. Again guys, you have to, as I told you, like one point I forget to tell you, that if the lending rate is too high, okay, आपका lending बहुत fast जा रहा है, but if your ROE is on a lower side, okay, like suppose your lending is at a 25-30%, but ROE is around 15% only, then you have to infuse capital, because your internal earnings are not so strong to basically suffice this type of lending. ओके, तो आपको बाहर से पैसे लाने पड़ेंगे टू इंक्रीज द CAR, कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी रेशियो. CAR इज अ कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी रेशियो. दिस इज द मिनिमम नेटवर्थ bank should keep it in stock. In suppose they are getting 100 deposit, out of that 15 rupees they'll keep it aside, or 20 rupees they'll keep it aside if there is some bad debts coming, and that is a capital adequacy ratio that is been given by the RBI. And the more it is, the better for the banks. Okay, so if you are doing more lending, तो भाई आपको वो तो मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा ना, परसेंटेज टू वॉट एवर लैंडिंग यू आर डूइंग. देन यू हैव टू ब्रिंग मच मोर फंड्स, एंड देन यू विल डू अ QIB and all that, qualified institutional borrowing and all that stuff, no, in order, and then you have to dilute your equity. So yes, all these things you have to keep in mind, no, when you are talking about whether you are doing an aggressive lending. That's why कब पता है ये यस बैंक और DHFL में प्रॉब्लम क्या है, they were very very aggressive. And in order to become aggressive, you know, they started giving loans to the big corporate, and the corporate ने उस तरह से repayment नहीं आया, and then see what happened. Okay, like and this is what is you have to keep in mind, that if it is a high lending also, no, and if you don't have all this ratio in place, okay, there is an alarm situation you have to always keep in mind, guys. Again, lot many things you can understand, but in a short, now I try to make you understand, when you have all these, you know, ratios clear and fundas clear, no, of course you have to see the how the future growth will be and all that. of the bank. No, but when all these things in place, they can lend much more in a better way. They can actually grow their books quite fast if they have all these no parameters in control. So that you have to keep in when you are evaluating a bank. And of course, the efficiency, operational efficiency, what is the management strategy, how they are going to expand their branches, and no again, which are the area they are going to now go. Some of the areas, like again, which type of area they are focusing, lending focus करे तो कहाँ corporate में कर रहे, retail में focus कर रहे, SME में focus करे, because every area has different type of NPA associated with that, risk associated with that. That also you have to keep in mind. So I see the main agenda of this video is nothing but to give you a complete no full circle understanding, no, how you should evaluate a bank. I know it is little bit tough, but no, if you are not able to understand, please go through this video again. And जब तक आपको पता ना चले, no, please understand this. This is very very important video, guys. Hope you like it video, guys. If you like it, do like and share it with everyone so that everybody can understand banks much better. If you have any question, put it in the comment box. I'll do answer that. And guys, same principle we apply when we give a stock recommendation, and we have been able to identify a lot many great banks over the time which has given a multi-bagger return. So if you want to know how we are doing, and again you want to get our services, link is given below, and do attend our masterclass also. Okay, so thank you very much for joining, guys, and as usual, I'll see you in the next video.